Hi, it's John Vitt, and today's lesson is on Fallin by Alicia Keys from the Trinity College London Grade 2 Drums Rock and Pop syllabus. So Fallin is a #1 single by Alicia Keys, who released her first debut album in 2001, and this song also won 3 Grammy Awards. So if we look at the sheet music, we've got 2 pages for this piece, and in the top left of the first page it says technical focus, as this is one of the technical focus pieces in the exam. So we'll go through the elements of a technical focus that you need to bring into the piece as we go through it. And underneath that it says Fallin, which is the title of the piece. Right, then beneath that we've got verse there written in a box, just letting you know that the first section of the song we're going to be playing is the verse. And then we've got the style underneath that, which is R&B, which is short for rhythm and blues. And then we've got the tempo there, so we've got a dotted crotchet equals 64. So the pulse of the song, these beats that make up the pulse are going to be dotted quarter notes. Okay, and there's going to be 64 of them per minute. So that's the tempo. And then underneath that it says I keep on falling, and that's just letting you know that's the lyrics at that point of the bar there. So underneath that we've got our first bar, so it's just telling you that the lyrics come in straight away there. And then looking at that first bar, we've got our percussion clef there, or our neutral clef there at the start of the bar, and then we've got our time signature. So we've got 12/8 for this piece. So the 12 at the top of the time signature lets you know there's 12 beats in the bar. So we count up to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the bottom number being 8 tells you that an 8th note lasts the beat. Okay, so each of those 12 beats are 8th notes. But this is compound time. Okay, so rather than feel all of those 8th notes, all 12 of them 8th notes, we don't really feel that. We feel the dotted quarter notes. So we feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and often we count the numbers just their first syllable. All right, so on 7 we don't say 7, we just say sev, and on 11 we just say lev. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, just because if you counted 2 or 3 syllables of a number, it kind of wouldn't line up with the count, so it'd take you beyond that. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so you lose it. Okay, so it's nice to be one syllable so it fits with the count. Okay, so this is compound quadruple time. So remember, compound beats are when they're split into 3, which this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that each beat, which is a dotted quarter note, is split into 3 parts. And it's compound quadruple time because we've got 4 compound beats. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 4 beats there. So the beats are dotted quarter notes, and each beat is split into 3 parts. So it's compound quadruple time, which is 12/8. So looking at the first bar, we've got a semi-brief rest there. So we rest for the whole first bar, and above the rest we can see a fermata there. So that means to pause. So there's going to be no time in the first bar. We're just going to be pausing, and the singer starts the song with the lyrics, which is why it's got the lyrics there written above the first bar, I keep on falling, and the singer just sings in her own time. Okay, so we're waiting for that point where the second bar comes in, where the time comes in. So for that first bar, we're just pausing. We're just waiting for that second bar to kick in, and that's where the time starts, okay, where the pulse begins. So if we look at the second bar there, it's got piano written beneath it, so that's where the piano comes in. So when the piano comes in, that's when it kicks off with the time. Okay, so the beats come in, those 4 dotted quarter notes. All right, and in that bar, so that second bar, we've got that 2-bar rest. So we're just resting for another 2 bars, but these are bars of time. So we rest for the first bar, which is the fermata, where there's no time, and then we rest for 2 more bars where there is time when the piano kicks in. Okay, so resting for that whole top line, and if we come to the second line, we're playing 8th notes or quavers on the hi-hat for the whole bar. So we're going to be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, remember, you want to be feeling those dotted quarter notes. So 1, 4, 7, 10, or you can just count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to hit 3 evenly spaced notes to each dotted quarter note beat. So let's try that in time with the metronome just to get a feel for that feel. And then underneath the bar you can see the dynamic as well. So you've got MP, so it's mezzo piano, which is moderately quiet or half quiet. So you want to bring it like a little bit quieter than your normal, okay? So slightly quiet. So let's try that now 4 times through just that bar. So bar 4 in time with the metronome. So looking at the next bar on that line, we've got the same thing on the hi-hats. We're just playing those quavers or eighth notes. And then we've got an open hi-hat on the last hi-hat. So we're just going to open that hi-hat on the 12th eighth note. And then we've got a second rhythm as well. So we've got a dotted minim rest there. So remember, eighth notes last a beat, which means quarter notes last 2 beats and minims last 4 beats. So the minim, so dotted minim lasts 4 plus half of 4. So half of 4 is 2. So that dotted minim is going to last for 6 beats, which is the first half of the bar. And we've got a dotted quarter note rest, so a quarter note lasts for 2 beats, so a dotted quarter note lasts for 3, and we know that because obviously we're feeling those compound beats as dotted quarter notes. And then we've got a rim click or a cross stick on the last quarter note beat, dotted quarter note beat, which is on the 10. So we're just going to play that on the 10. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we're opening on the 12th. Okay? So remember, with your cross stick, you've got to find that point on your stick that makes a nice clicking sound. So that's our backbeat. Okay, it's a nice subtle way of playing a backbeat, that cross stick. So we're going to try that bar now. So bar 5, 4 times through, just making sure you're playing those even eighth notes on the hi-hat. You're getting that nice rim click sound on the 10, and you're getting a nice open hi-hat on the 12. Okay, so let's try that bar now 4 times through. And then looking at the next line at bar 6, we've got eighth notes on the hi-hat again for the whole bar, and you can see that plus sign there, just letting you know that the hi-hat's closed. So obviously we opened it in the last note of the last bar, so we're closing it on the first bar, the first note of this bar. Right, so we're playing those eighth notes. We've got a dotted quarter note on the bass drum, so that's going to last for the 1, 2, 3, which is the dotted quarter note beat, and then we've got a quarter note on the cross stick or the rim click, and then we're playing the bass drum on the 6. Then the 7, we've got a dotted quarter note on the 7, then we're playing that rim click again on the 10, and then we've got a bass drum on the 12. So basically your backbeat is on the 4 and the 10. Okay, so you can either count all the eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or feel those dotted quarter note beats and hit the rim click or the cross stick on the 2nd and 4th compound beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and like I said, it's much easier to feel those dotted quarter notes. And then the bass drum is on the 1, 6, 7, and then on the 12 as well. Okay, so let's try bar 6 4 times through with a metronome. And then for the next bar, so bar 7, you've got the same thing, and we're just adding another bass drum on the 11. Okay, so that's second from last eighth note. So we've got 2 bass drums at the end of the bar. So let's try bar 7 now in time with the metronome. And then looking at the next line, so we've got bar 8 there, which is the same as bar 7. So if we look at bar 9, we've got quite a few bass drums in this bar. And also you'll notice how the backbeat is only playing on that second dotted quarter note beat. Okay, so it's playing on that 4. All right, so we're taking out that second backbeat, and then we're playing the bass drum on the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so you got it on the 1 as well. So you got bass drum on the 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so you're going to hit those bass drums for the last 7 eighth notes in time with it with the hi-hat, obviously. So this is still playing all 12 eighth notes on the bar. So let's try bar 9 now 4 times through. So the groove kicks in properly at bar 6 where the backbeat comes in on the cross stick. So we're going to try from bar 6 now to the end of bar 9 because that's like the 4-bar groove of the verse. Okay, so if we try those 4 bars now, just making sure there's nice transitions from bar to bar and it's nice and smooth through all 4 bars. Remember you've got that cross stick on the 4 and the 10 and that's your backbeat. Okay, so remember you can call it a rim click as well as a cross stick. So let's try that now and just make sure you get all those bass drums in the right places and just keep that backbeat strong. And remember that open hi-hat as well on the 2nd bar of the 4 bars. So let's try all 4 of them bars now, bars 6 to 9 in time with the metronome. And now we'll try the whole verse. So we'll start with a 2-bar rest. So we can't start with the fermata because we need the backing track for that. So we'll start the 2-bar rest, then the drums come in at bar 4 and we're going to play through until bar 9. So let's try all of that in time with the metronome. And now we're coming to the last line of the first page, so at bar 10, so it says chorus above the bar, so we're into the chorus now. So you can see the 8th notes are still being played, but they're on the ride cymbal now. And the bass and snare pattern is the same as what you had for bar 6. Okay, so you've played the bass and snare patterns, just going to play those rides instead of the hi-hat now. And also, if you look at the bottom of the bar, it says MF, so the dynamic is mezzo forte, which is half loud. Okay, which is like moderately loud. So we're just going to bring this up a little bit. And also the backbeat is on the snare now rather than the cross stick or the rim click. Okay, so this groove's a little bit more energy in this. So let's try that first bar now 4 times through, the first bar of the chorus. And then looking at bar 10, this is also the same groove that you played in the verse, so at bar 7, but again the same thing. We've got the 8th notes this time on the ride cymbal, and also the snare is played on the snare rather than the cross stick. Okay, the backbeat's on the actual snare now. So let's try bar 11 now in time with the metronome. Bar 12 is the same as bar 10, so if we look at bar 13 now, which is the 2nd bar of the 2nd page, we've got this, we've got the groove carrying on, so the ride plays the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the bass drum plays the 1, And then the snare drum plays the 4, bass drum plays 5, 6. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got a flam on the 7. So we flam, and we've got an accent above that flam. So we're going to hit it with more emphasis so it really comes out, and that's a dotted quarter note flam. So you can play a left or right flam there. So I'm going to play a left, so the left stick starts higher, right stick starts low. So the right plays the grace note, left plays the primary note. And that's a dotted quarter note, so it lasts for the whole compound beat, which is 7, 8, 9. And then we've got a dotted quarter note rest for 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got a flam on 7. So let's try that bar now. So it's bar 13, 4 times through. And that's the whole chorus. So the chorus, just those 4 bars. So we're going to try the whole chorus now in time with the metronome. So bar 10 to 13. So let's try that now. And now we'll try the verse and the chorus. We're going to go from the start of the page right to the end of bar 13. Okay, so you've got that intro. So the intro, the groove subtly comes in. So it's gradually coming in. We're bringing that hi-hat in. Then there's one cross stick, nice open hi-hat into the full groove. And remember, we're at mezzo piano for the verse. So it's a nice subtle groove. The backbeat is just them cross sticks or rim clicks. So it's a nice subtle backbeat. And then the groove comes up in energy for the chorus. So we're across to the ride cymbal, and we're just playing those snares instead of those cross sticks. So it's just bringing up the volume a bit where we come to mezzo forte for the chorus. And we're going to end with a nice accented flam. Right, so let's try from the top to the end of bar 13. And now we'll try the verse and chorus with the backing track. Okay, so we're going to put it to the music. So now we can play the fermata. So you're going to hear the singer come in, and she's going to hold her notes in her own time. Okay, for the first bar. So we just pause, we just hold, we just wait for that second bar to kick in, and that's where the time comes in, when the piano comes in at bar 2. Okay, so we pause for bar 1, 2 bar rest after that, and then we come in with our nice subtle hi-hats. We're slowly bringing in that backbeat, so we play it on the 10, and then we sizzle into the full groove, so that nice little open hi-hat sizzle, and then obviously we're into our verse groove, our full verse groove, and then we're going to play the chorus as well, all in time to the backing track. So make sure it fits nicely, and it's sounding a nice dynamic in time to the track, alright? So you don't want to be too loud or too quiet, you want to really fit in that mix well. Okay, so let's try that now in time with the backing track.
Sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good. At times I feel
come into the second line of the second page where it says verse. So we're into the second verse here, and the bar, we can see that first bar of the verse is the same as bar 6. Okay, and you're back to mezzo piano as well. And in the second bar of that line, we've got slash notation. So we've got some freedom to improvise, but we can't just play whatever we want. You can see above the bar it says cont sim, which is short for continua simile, which means continue in a similar way. So we need to play a similar groove, all right, for all of these slashes. And then if we look at this, the next line of the verse, so bar 16 and 17. So 16's got slashes throughout the whole bar, so we just continue playing the groove in a similar way. And then if you look at bar 17, we've got those bass drums. So there's 6 bass drums at the end of the bar. So we can improvise, but we need to include those bass drums on the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like you had in bar 9. Okay? So you need to make sure those bass drums are in there, and in the next line you've got 2 bars of slash notation again, so you're still continuing in a similar way. Then into bar 20, another bar of slash notation, and then we come into bar 21. So you've got one slash there, so that's a dotted crotchet beat, so you improvise for the 1, 2, 3, and then we've got a fill there for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we just play 8 notes from the 4. So you're going to play snares as single strokes from starting with the right hand. So you're going to play right, left, right, and then you're going to bring the left hand up to the small tom, play left, right, left on the snare, and you're going to come across to the floor tom, play right hand, and then play left, left. Okay, you're going to play left, left. That's going to free up the right hand to start the next bar. Okay. So what we're going to try now is the first 3 beats of groove. So we're just going to play 1, 2, 3 on the hi-hat and the bass drum on the 1, and then we're going to play that fill. So you've got right, right on snare, left on small tom, right, left on snare, right on floor tom, left, left on snare. So let's try that. Just that bar 4 times through, so bar 21. And now we'll try bars 20 and 21, okay? So we'll try an improvised groove, playing in a similar way to what you had at bar 14, and then we'll play our bar where we got 1 dotted quarter note beat of improvised groove, and then the next 3 dotted quarter note beats as our fill. So let's try bars 20 and 21 now. And now we'll try that whole second verse. Okay, so start with that bar at mezzo piano, improvise but continue in a similar way. Make sure you get those bass drums in at bar 17, and then obviously we've got that fill at the end of the second verse. Let's try that whole second verse. And then we come into our chorus. So at the second from last line of the second page. So you can see chorus written above that bar, so we're at bar 22. So again, we've got the same groove that we had at the start of the first chorus at bar 10. And then if we look at the next bar, so bar 23, we've got the same groove, but you're just finishing it a bit early. So you're stopping on the 10. So last note's on the 10, and you've got a crash there with the backbeat. So the bass drum, obviously on the 12 that you had in the previous bar, isn't there because that last notes on the 10. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you're going to hold that for a dotted quarter note, which is obviously a compound beat. So let's try just bar 23 4 times through, just to get a feel for that dotted quarter note crash and snare. So you're crashing on the backbeat. Nice effect that is. Really sort of accentuates the backbeat, gives it more emphasis and stands out a bit more. And now we're on to the last line. So the first bar of the last line, bar 24, is the same as bar 22. So you've got that groove that we've already played. So if you come to bar 25, you've got 6 ride cymbals, 8th notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The bass drum's playing the 1, the snare's playing the 4, the bass drum's playing the 5, 6. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we finish with a fill. So we got a dotted quarter note flam, and that's accented. So you flam on the 7, and then you've got another flam on the 10, and then we've got bass drums on the 11, 12. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let's just try just that bar, so bar 25 4 times through. And now we'll try bars 25 and 26. So just playing that half bar of groove, half bar fill, and then finishing with that crash. And you can see it's that last bar because we've got that final bar line there to complete the piece. And now we'll try the whole chorus. So again, we're at mezzo forte for this chorus. So make sure you're just linking up all them bars. Don't forget that backbeat with the crash in the second bar of the chorus. And then make sure you play that Norris fill at the end of the chorus. So the first flam is accented on the snare, and then the second flam, which is played on the floor tom, isn't accented. So make sure you don't accent that one as well. And we're just finishing with that crash. So let's try the whole chorus now in time with the metronome. And now we'll try the second verse and the second chorus. So we're going to go from bar 14 all the way to the end of the piece. So just linking up that improvised verse with the chorus, the second chorus. Let's try that now in time with the metronome. And then we'll try the second verse and chorus with the backing track. Okay, so make sure again it's nice and fitting with the track. You're not too loud or quiet, you're fitting in the mix well. And remember, the verse is at mezzo piano and the chorus is at mezzo forte. So just make sure you lift up for the chorus. All right, so let's try that now in time with the backing track.
The way that I love you. I never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure, cause me so much pain? Just when I think of taking more than what a fool, I stand for
now we'll try the whole piece in time with the backing track. Okay, so we're going to put it all together. So the two technical focus elements for this piece, the first is the rim clicks or the cross sticks. So you need to make sure they're sounding good. So you need to find the sweet spot of the stick. So remember, if you play it too high or too low on the stick, it's not going to punch through. And they are the backbeats. Okay, so when you're playing those rim clicks or cross sticks, they are playing the backbeats, which really need to punch through because they give the groove sound. Okay, so that's one technical focus, and then the other is 12/8. So we're playing in 12/8 for this piece, so you really need to give it that feel and make sure when you're playing in 12/8, you're feeling comfortable, so it's sounding comfortable. So remember, this is compound time, so you're feeling those 4 dotted quarter note beats, and each beat is broken into 3 parts. Okay, so make sure your bass patterns are taking that into account. So the ones that fall on the dotted beats, those bass drums will be stronger than the ones that aren't falling on the dotted quarter note beats. So when you hit the 1 on the bass drum, that's strong. Obviously the second beat is on the back beat, that's strong. Then the 3, if you're playing that bass drum on the 3, the third, obviously dotted quarter note beat, that's got to be strong. And then you're playing the 4th dotted beat as a backbeat as well. So those 4 beats are strong, and the other bass drums that fall on the upbeats are obviously not as strong. So you need to make sure you bring that into your playing as well. So that's what that sort of gives you that 12/8 feel. So let's try now, putting the whole track together, linking all the parts, making sure the transitions are smooth, and don't forget your dynamics. Let's give it a go.
I keep on falling in love with you. Sometimes I love you, sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good, at times I feel used. Over you, darling, makes me so confused. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. Oh, I never felt this way. How do you give me so much pleasure, cause me so much pain? Just when I think of taking more than what a fool, I start falling back in love with you. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you.
So that's the whole piece, so I hope you enjoy playing to that. It's a great 12/8 piece with loads of soul, like loads of feel in it, so make sure you really bring that across in your playing. And remember, we practice these parts at song tempo, but that's not where you start, okay? Bring it down, play at a comfortable tempo for you, and gradually get comfortable with the parts. As you do, bump up the tempo till you're at song tempo. That's when you want to play it to the track. Okay, so don't rush. Put more time into playing things right and playing them nicely so they sound good, and then bring the tempo up. Don't rush, because rush drumming always sounds bad. Okay, so spend some time on it, perfecting the pieces, and we'll see you in the next lesson.